What is the reinvention risk for a majority of the polled CEOs? If you can kind of break it down in simple terms, and Sanjiv, also step in on that after Bob.
Yeah, so what you see is sort of two big picture phenomenons. One is the amount of external change that's happening and how CEOs have to react to that. And that has impact on their strategy, it has impact on their execution, and can they actually keep pace with the demands that are needed, and do they have the right leadership and change management programs in place? Second is, can they control their own destiny? There's a lot of things happening in the world, and one of our major themes is control what you can control, scenario plan for everything else. Because there's a lot of things out there you can't control.
That's almost, that's from the Bhagavad Gita, actually.
Yes, exactly. So the two big ones is, in fact, this AI, generative AI play, the technology disruptions. This last year, we saw a tremendous amount of urgency and energy in the generative AI space, and a big wake-up call for what that future world looks like. So 70-some-odd% of the CEOs see that as probably one of the biggest concerns or risks. Others see it as a risk, but also a big-time opportunity.
Yeah, Sanjeev.
So I would say that, when you look at technology and particularly sustainability, I think these are not things on which, it'll become night and day overnight. I think people and CEOs realize that, I think, in some cases, because, for instance, we are talking about 4 in 10 CEOs saying that they recognize that the decarbonization efforts will yield them lower revenues, lower margins, for instance. So I think this is going to be a long-term game. It's not going to be overnight, and there may be some amount of pain before there are gains. I mean, look at Indian CEOs, many of them who actually export particularly to Europe, with CBAM coming along, they recognize that there is no other way. They have to move on the journey to decarbonize and to make sure that the carbon component is going lower. The Indian government is actually putting a lot out when it comes to wind, when it comes to solar, and now also hydrogen and EVs and so on and so forth. So I think there's a lot of enablement which is there, but let's be honest, it's not going to be night and day. And the second one, just because I am doing it doesn't help. My entire ecosystem, my entire supply chain, my vendors, they also need to be part of the journey, and possibly I need to help them come through that, because the financial muscle that I have, maybe they won't have.